A lot of different things you do, couldn't cover everything. I'd like to know a little more about the lesson that you incorporated into the Comp 101 course, because I imagine that a lot of this isn't coming directly from the faculty, but it's the way that the faculty can handle what else is going on in the classroom as well.
Mm-hmm. The lesson plan was actually focused on students, so their inclusivity and computing day. They learn about like a lot of female computer scientists, and they learn a lot about stereotypes and gender bias in general. So I actually took the lesson plan and focused it more on actual microaggressions, like identifying what they are, how the students can handle them whenever they see them, and then of course there's instructions in there for the instructor as well as to what a microaggression is, so that way they can also learn from their lesson plan as to how to treat that and how to react and stuff like that. And there's a few other activities where students actually are able to kind of see which stereotypes they are identified with, and they can kind of describe how that makes them feel and what kind of effect or impact it might have on them in the future.
Does your research at any point include the studying of various cultures within like mainstream societies in order to gain some kind of perspective on how these cultural perceptions might take place in the field?
Unfortunately, I did not have enough time to actually study that. Like this one took definitely enough time, as is just focusing on gender in general. But if I did have more time, of course, I would have liked to focus on cultural impacts as well as other impacts that low retention rates for female in STEM might have. So like stereotype threat and general lack of support, like growing up factors, stuff like that. So I would have definitely liked to study that as well.
Forgive me if I missed it, but could you tell me anything about how this work at UMBC relates to the field by which I mean other campuses? And you're welcome to answer that locally, state, federally. Are you aware of who's thought of as the best or worst, or where we stand in that sort of range?
I don't think there's enough resources out there right now that there's necessarily like a best approach to all of this. And I know that the training programs for microaggressions are just now starting to form in general. So having this research, especially focused on gendered microaggressions, you can share with faculty and staff from different universities, and also possibly even in the workplace with like some adaptions, of course. And they will be able to use that for their own faculty and staff with modifications, of course, if they see fit.
Thank you. Well, thank you ever so much. I did want to take a moment just to say, in thanking Liz a final time, thank you to the mentors without whom we could not exist or do this work. We are extremely grateful. Another fascinating project. Thank you.